guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is, first of all, the first video that you're seeing me with my braces on. I've had them on for almost a week now, but obviously I pre-filmed videos beforehand before I got them on. And if you don't follow me on Snapchat or Instagram, this is the first time you'll be seeing them. So just wanted to point it out because it is obviously a big change and they will be on for quite some time. I only have them on the top right now, but they will eventually be going on the bottom. So it's just taking me a long time to really learn how to talk with these on, because it's really hard to not just lisp every single one of your words. And if you've ever had braces or Invisalign, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if my words get jumbled up here and there, blame it on the braces. So today's video is one that I don't do often. I just find that it takes me a long time to accumulate products to make a video like this, and the products kind of just have to be ones that did actually disappoint me. So today's video is products that have disappointed me, and I want to point out that a lot of these products were actually sent to me. Some of them I did not purchase, so I don't want you to be confused and think like, oh well, she didn't buy these, so why does it matter? Honestly, I think my opinion matters regardless of if the product was bought or sent to me. And if you're ever braces, blame it on the braces. If you are ever curious about whether I bought a product or it was sent to me, I always list that in the info box. Any products that I use in a video or I talk about in a video that have been sent to me, I will put a little asterisk mark or a star beside of, and that's how you will know if it was PR or if I actually bought it. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and start, because I actually have quite a few products. Let's start out with something that people went insane over, and I know I'm probably going to get a little bit of criticism from this, but I just have to mention it because I never use it and I'm not drawn towards it, and it's the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. I kind of knew immediately when Urban Decay released the promo image of this that it wasn't going to be something that I loved. And basically the day that the palette was released, that's when it arrived at my house. And I kid you not, I've used it twice since I've had it. And the reason that I was disappointed in it is, well, first of all, the colors in here just aren't ones that I would naturally be gravitated towards. So that was a disappointment, but that's my own personal disappointment. Secondly, I just feel like there's so many red shades in here. And I know that is the point. That's the point of this palette. It is heat. It's supposed to be very warm, but the amount of just orange and red shades in here, it just overwhelms me. For example, He Devil, Cayenne, and Fuego, Dirty Talk, and Scorched, like this whole kind of row right here, they're just all so similar. And I don't know, I was not gravitated towards this palette. I do think the pigmentation of this palette is a lot better than the Naked 3 palette, which obviously those aren't in correlation since the Naked 3 is a part of the 1, 2, 3 series. But I do think the shadows perform well in here. I have swatched all of them. But yeah, I was just disappointed because it's just not for me personally. So these are some newer products from Becca, and they are called the Lush Lip Color Balms. And they are basically a lipstick lip balm hybrid. And my main concern with these are they're $22. I get it, Becca does generally try to put better ingredients in their products, but where can you find tinted lip balms or sheer lipsticks? You can find those, so many of those at the drugstore nowadays. And my main criticism with this is kind of my criticism with the Glossier sheer matte lipsticks that I reviewed recently. Okay, I understand paying for packaging as one thing. So packaging, a lot of people pay for packaging, you know, YSL, Marc Jacobs, they always have really heavy, glamorous packaging. So, you know, you can take that with a grain of salt. If you want to pay for packaging, if you just like that kind of expensive look, then hey, I go for it. But the packaging on these are, in my opinion, kind of cheap. They are almost like just a plastic clear or maybe acrylic encasing, and then the tube inside is silver, and they very much remind me of the lipsticks that you used to get from like Claire's as a kid, and maybe that's what's throwing me off with these. The formula on these are pretty moisturizing. They're just a sheer lipstick formula. And I mean, I don't know. I get paying for pigment and I get paying for packaging, but these kind of fall short in both of those categories. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what the specific launch purpose was for these because they're $22, and I know that you can go to the drugstore right now and find very similar colors for less money. Yet again, another Charlotte Tilbury product has fallen into my disappointing products category. I feel like every time I do this video, there's at least one Charlotte Tilbury product that has fallen into the mix, and this time it is a product that I feel like is probably one of her most raved about products other than her lip cheat and like her Film Star Bronze and Glow, and it is her Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I bought this when we were in New York. I bought it at one of those really high-end department stores. I can't even remember the name because we don't have those in Tennessee. What was it? Maybe no, it wasn't Barney's. Bergdorf Goodman? Maybe Bergdorf Goodman? Is that how you say it? I think that might be where I got this from, right? They sell cosmetics, I think. I think that might have been where I got this from. I really can't remember. But I bought this back in February and was really excited to try it because I've seen so many people rave about it, and I was just not blown away. I'm sorry. I tried to love it. I used it alongside of her Wonder Glow foundation, and is it called Wonder Glow or Light Wonder? Light Wonder foundation. I used it alongside of the Light Wonder foundation, and I honestly felt like it took away from the Light Wonder foundation. I really like this product, but the powder, I don't know, it's very expensive. It is, I think it rounds off in the $40 range, and it's just, no, like it didn't do anything for me. I just felt like it was a normal powder. The thing that I was so excited about is when I saw her use this in videos, it almost seemed like it just melted into her model's skin. And I think it's because Charlotte Tilbury is uses very heavy video filters for her YouTube videos. I've noticed that she's kind of stopped that because a lot of people called her out for that. But I think that might have been why I was so drawn towards this powder, is just how it was being presented on camera. And then I was just, you know, disappointed in real life. So it was like a regular powder, you guys, like nothing that blew me away. Another powder that I picked up, I feel like shortly after the Charlotte Tilbury one, was the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. This is what it looks like. It's very reminiscent to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. Should have known when I swatched it in store because I personally never cared for the Hourglass powders myself. I'm a stickler when it comes to powders and concealers, and you'll see that in a minute if you didn't already know that. But this just kind of, again, didn't do a whole lot for the price. It is even more sheer than the Hourglass powders. Even when you touch this, you barely get any product on your hand. I mean, literally, it is so hard to get product off of this. So even if you wanted to set your face minimally, you have to swirl your brush around and tap it on your face several times to get your makeup set minimally. And I know that that's the point in this product. It's just supposed to be a very lightweight powder, but again, it's expensive. Again, I feel like this one was in the high $30 range, and it just, you know, I don't really feel like sitting there swirling my brush around trying to get product off and then not even really having a good finish on the skin. I don't know. Didn't love the finish on my skin. It just didn't do anything for me. Didn't wow me. This is a drugstore powder that I picked up recently for a drugstore tutorial, and I actually just went back and bought another powder because this one was so underwhelming, and it's the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow powder. I was really excited to try this because I actually do like the Pro Glow foundation. And let me just go ahead and throw this in here too while we're at it. We'll just go ahead and pop on this product as well since they go together. And second product is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. So Pro Glow Powder, Pro Glow Concealer, both kind of launched at the same time. They're in the same display at the drugstore, and I just thought, ooh, cool, these will be fun to use in a video. Okay, first of all, this powder, it's got shimmer in it. Let's just go ahead and be completely blunt. And when you actually touch the powder, nothing comes off. Nothing comes off on your hand. It is the most bizarre thing. It's split into two pans. I don't know if you guys can see that. The shimmer pan is down here, and then just the, I don't know, basic powder is right here. And when you touch both of them, nothing comes off. I am not even joking, you guys, right now. Like, I'm going to do a close-up. The shimmery powder actually does a better job of, like, picking up, but the regular powder down here, it's like it creates a film immediately over the top when you try to touch it. So that was a big waste of money. It wasn't cheap either. Powders just keep getting expensive at the drugstore. I feel like that one was like $12.99. Then, to go alongside of it, the L'Oreal Pro Glow Concealer. First of all, biggest complaint with this is the freaking shade range. L'Oreal, you own half of the cosmetic industry, and you cannot do a better job of shade matching in concealers. Like, come on, it is 2017. So I picked up the lightest shade in the concealer. It's called 01 Fair, I think. And it is, okay, I mean, I'm not the darkest person on the planet, I realize that, but I'm in a light medium skin tone range, meaning that I'm not the fairest, but I'm not quite in like a medium skin tone range right now. And this concealer freaking matches my skin. Like, I mean, my arms have more color than my face, and this is the lightest color that is available. I just find that crazy because I think of all of my friends who are much more fair than me, and I'm like, this would never work for them. They would never be able to use this because it is so dark. And then on top of that, even the darker shades, I think there's like 5 or 6 shades in this concealer. The darkest shade is not that dark. So the first thing that made me mad about this, excuse me, I'm gonna wipe it off. I don't want to get it on my dress. So the first thing that really irked me about this was the color selection. Secondly, I used it in the video and it was okay. Like, it had light coverage to it. It was glowy, like the name said, but wasn't wowed by it. It didn't do anything for me as a concealer. You need to do one or the other. You need to brighten up and kind of make my under eye look awake, or you need to offer coverage, and this did neither one of those things. So huge disappointment for me. So this is something that I actually really enjoyed, but it disappointed me in the sense that it actually broke out my skin, and I never get breakouts, you guys. Like, I do not get breakouts from products. I do not get breakouts when it's that time of the month. I just never, my skin never breaks out. And whenever I first started using this product, I fell in love with it. I love the way it made my face feel and look. I love the way it prepped my skin. And then I started noticing that I was getting these cluster bumps like on my forehead. And I'm talking like just a bunch of like little tiny bumps all over my forehead. And I was like, ew, gross, like what is going on? And I actually blamed it on a powder foundation I was using at the time, the Clinique powder foundation. And it wasn't until someone, actually a few people, pointed out in the video, and they were like, hey, I see you're using this product. It really breaks our skin out. Like, it is, and multiple people said it. And it's actually the Becca First Light Priming Filter. So their lavender primer. I love this. Like, I love the way this makes my skin look. But what I did was I stopped using this and I continued to use that Clinique powder foundation, and the bumps went away. So I know it wasn't the powder foundation that was breaking my skin out. And just, you know, based on several people saying that this kind of did the same thing for them, I had to eliminate it. And I was so disappointed because I really love this. So I don't want to discourage you from buying this based on the formula. But if you do have sensitive skin and you are prone to breakouts, then this may not be for you. I don't know what's in it that caused that for me, but it was very strange because products just don't ever really break me out. Alright, so those were my products. As usual, I know there's going to be a ton of you guys that really like the things I talk about. Feel free to leave in the comments how you use those products, how you can use them in a different way to where they might work for some people. That's always welcome in the comment section. I feel like people are very active in these videos in the comment section. So yeah, you know, everybody's different. Obviously, I go through this spiel in every single video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. And yeah, I guess I will see you in my next video. Bye.